10 style tips I wish I knew in my 20s to save myself from looking like this so that I could dress more like this, and this. We agree that I'm not a big fashion guru. I'm not even that well dressed, but I learned a lot of things over these years, let me tell you. And as somebody that has actually improved his style, here are the 10 biggest bang for your buck stuff you probably haven't heard anywhere else. The first of those is only make one point in your outfit. Many people think the more cool stuff you wear, the cooler you become. So if you have cool glasses and then cool top and cool pants and cool shoes, you're the coolest guy on town. If you actually look not at these fashion influencers, not at these Instagram, TikTok reels where all these like New York Fashion Week trying to look cooler than the other person. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just everyday, genuinely well-dressed people. What they do is they know the ability to kill. In Korea, we say this: you kill other parts of your outfit. In other words, you underplay, you downplay, you reduce their impact so as to make one or two subtle accents that really do shine. Now, in a simple outfit like this, like what could be the point? Maybe, you know, I have a little necklace here that I bought. It could be the point. Maybe a ring could become the point. Maybe the very texture of the thing, the way it's like ribbed or waffled or whatever. That is the point. That is the accent. In an all black outfit, then maybe your white socks could become the point. It doesn't really matter what it is. The point is that instead of doing more is better and trying to do more and more cool stuff, you want to act like a minimalist and you want to just draw attention to one small thing and understand that anything can be the point. And that is really the next point. Everything can become an accent with the right context. If you wear an all black outfit or an all white outfit and you throw on a different color, then that becomes the point. If you wear all cotton and then you have something nylon, that could become the point. If you have jewelry with the simplest toned, not much going on outfit, then the jewelry can become the point. If your clothes are just dead and you are really good looking, or you have a killer hairstyle or a great personality, that becomes the point. Do you see? So instead of becoming very item dependent or very much about, you know, more stuff added together, think more about the entire context of the outfit and what am I killing? What am I lifting up to really make myself shine or make the outfit shine? Everything can become an accent with the right context. Next, when in doubt, go simple. Ooh, I bought this. Ooh, I bought this. Nobody cares. Don't be buying all this stuff to try and keep up with the Kardashians. Get the cool belt, get the cool this and that. You're just compiling loads of stuff that's probably overpriced and combining them together, thinking to yourself that you've become 2 times cooler than the guy who has only one of those things. That's not how it works. When in doubt, what you want to do is actually the opposite. You want to go super simple. Jeans, t-shirt, done. Black trousers, black t-shirt, done. Simple fundamental colors. What are the fundamental colors? In American casual, in most fashion traditions, the major colors are white, black, military green, beige, brown, navy, gray. Maybe I missed one. Just do those colors to start. If you're somebody who doesn't know what to buy first of all those colors. You and me, we just want to dress kind of normal but also have a little bit of style, right? Not look just like some guy just, you know, out of a freaking Lego movie. Clothes hang on you like some coat hanger and you don't look good. You want to look like you belong in them. You want people to say, hey, that looks nice, you dressed well. That's what I'm talking about. In order to do that, you got to go super simple and just default to this. When in doubt, go simple. And with that simplicity, you can add a simple point and it will work. Now, if you're enjoying this and you want my entire system for dressing better without trying harder, literally dressing well in the laziest way, and you want to see exactly how I apply all the principles that I've shared here and more, then you can check out Effortless Style Blueprint. It's my new system that's designed for you guys that don't want to think too much, don't want to try too hard, don't want to overthink outfits, but still look better than 90% of people. I'll leave that below as well. Next, you want to whisper what you're trying to say with your outfit rather than telling it, or even worse, shouting it. So much of today's world is about shouting it. Like even people that are supposedly fashion icons, they're shouting a lot. You know, ASAP Rocky. We're not trying to dress like ASAP Rocky, let's be honest. The more you try to scream and yell at what you're good at what you're trying to show, at what you're aware of, the less good it looks. The clothes always look best when they look not just understated, but almost on the verge of unintentional. This is actually why skaters often look really good. The grassroots skating, the way it was done, they would wear clothes that, you know, like button-up shirts sometimes, or actual chino looking trousers, and they'd be skating. And it's like, it's cool because they're kind of doing something that they shouldn't be doing wearing those clothes, and also they're doing something where the clothes are of secondary importance because the skating is the point. That's when the clothes look cool. Instead of screaming at it, underplay it, have more important shit going on in your life, and make the clothing look like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, it just kind of picked it out. Of course, you and I both know you spent 2 hours looking at the mirror figuring out the right stuff, but you get what I'm saying, right? Make it understated. That's the real secret. Next, the white belt wearing a gi effect. Now, when a white belt comes into a jiu-jitsu dojo or a taekwondo dojo, pick your martial art, even a football soccer thing, and he wears his new jersey and he's just there like, again, like a Lego character, what does he look like? He looks like a noob. He looks like he doesn't belong in those clothes because the clothes have not molded to him yet and his body. Now, if you look at the higher belts, the people that have spent years training the sport, when they wear the clothing, what does it look like? The gi has all softened up. It's all flabby. It's got like blood marks on it. It's just all softened and worn out. Maybe there's rips in it. Same with football. Like the shirt kind of like so much sweat, so many times in the washing machine, it's kind of molded to his body. So when he moves in the gi, when he moves in the uniform, it looks natural, almost like it was made for his body. As opposed to a guy who just bought this new cool white t-shirt from this cool brand, and then he put it on and there's all these crease marks. It's all stiff. Just looks not that good. What does that mean? You gotta let clothes mold to your body, like become shaped by your body. Do you know how that happens? By wearing the hell out of them. This is the concept that the Japanese call wabi-sabi, the beauty that comes from the natural aging process. There is beauty in this because you start to wonder, why is it so worn out? Like, how much must he have lived his life and done his craft for that to look worn out? Next, the element of the unknown, the mystery. This is, again, something that can add an X factor to your outfit. That doesn't mean get some obscure item that is just weird and crazy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is exactly the opposite. In fact, maybe you wear something that's just the same almost as what everybody would wear, like the jeans and the t-shirt. But the t-shirt, it's a simple white tee, but why does it look so good? I remember looking at this actor that's from Fast and Furious, and I saw his picture on the Pinterest and I was like, why does that look so good? I mean, we admit he's good looking, he's got a good body, but that t-shirt looks really good. Where did he get that t-shirt? It's a bloody white t-shirt. I've been trying to look for it ever since. I think I found one, in fact, but literally that's what I'm talking about. There's an element of like unknown. Where does this come from? I don't really know. Where did he get that? Maybe it's the washing on the jeans. But again, if you're like, boom, Chanel, fucking Louis Vuitton, big Ray-Ban, and it's very clear you got this from there, that from the popular this, and that's in trend, and that's the loafer from there. Where's the mystery? Where's the second glance? You're just out there screaming, trying to tell people that you dress well. That's not what we want. Next, copying is the mother of invention. Everybody that dresses well, in fact, everybody that does anything well started off by copying. It's just a feature of getting good, is you learn from people that are better than you. So stop thinking that copying how people dress is somehow lame or weird or shameful. By that logic, you shouldn't learn mathematics from your teacher. Why would you learn mathematics? Why would you copy the way she's doing it? Well, because she's better than you. It's time for us to admit, and I'm the first to admit, maybe if you're watching this, you don't have a natural fashion sense. I don't naturally dress well. I never did. And maybe you don't either. So what do we gotta do? We gotta copy people that dress well. But knowing some of these concepts that we've been through is gonna help you see why certain looks look good. That's what you're gonna realize after watching this video and all the other fashion videos, by the way, I'll put up that have gone pretty viral. And once you watch these and then you see these pics or these celebrities and they're like, oh my God, look at how well they're dressed. You're gonna see why. You're gonna be able to deconstruct it. And that's actually the best way to copy. Not just going, he's got a pink top and khaki trousers, so I'm gonna get a pink top and khaki trousers, exact same brand, exact same thing. That's not how you copy. The art of copying in the right way, maybe this is what they call stealing like an artist, is looking at it, being able to deconstruct why it looks good. It might not be the pink and khaki combo. It might be even something else like the materials. It might be the context. It might be his body language. But understanding what it is about that situation that made it look good, and then try to emulate it in your own way. Maybe it is the color. At the beginning, you're gonna copy simple things. He's like, okay, he's got a white tank top, a white shirt, and khaki trousers, and brown shoes. You just copy that. At the beginning, that's how you copy. And then you start to copy the fit, the silhouette, the material. Understand that this is just part of discovering your personal style as well and getting better dressed. It's just a whole load of copying as a whole load of failing, as we'll get onto. Next, football clubs, they take about 3 seasons, like 3 full years of buying and selling players to arrive at a team that is kind of decent. And it's the same with your wardrobe. At first, you're gonna watch a bunch of my videos, a bunch of fashion videos, and you're gonna buy stuff. And a bunch of those, like 80% of those, will be failures. And the next season, the next year, when you look at them, you're gonna be like, why did I even buy that? Probably because you're chasing trends, probably because you're buying to impress. So instead, you're investing in quality, timeless pieces that will last you multiple seasons. And learning that process, you just have to go through a whole bunch of failures. You just have to buy stuff and overpay for stuff and realize, damn, that was a mistake. I never wear this stuff. Damn, I got this because I thought I would look good in it, but I look crap. Damn, I got this thinking I would wear it, but my lifestyle just doesn't fit it. Damn, I got this, but I got fat. Like, there's so many reasons why you purchase, overpay, and it's just a failure. One thing I realized is fashion is like gym, is like jujitsu. You just gotta fail a bunch to get good. You gotta make all the mistakes. So understand it takes 3 seasons of buying and selling to arrive at an outfit that's close to even decent for you. And don't be afraid to make these mistakes, to look like a fool, because who looks great when they first start? Next, the more you learn about fashion, the better you become at dressing it. And the reason for this is because when you actually understand why things developed in that way, like for instance, the skating culture's influence on fashion and street fashion, especially Dickies trousers, Supreme shoes, and all these kind of brands, why they come out with this kind of clothing, and then you match it, kind of knowing the history, it really makes you not only appreciate the clothing more, you're just gonna naturally match things in a better way and then in a more creative way because you have that background. Maybe just learning about, you know, American casual fashion or Japanese interpretations of American casual, maybe learning a bit about minimalist stuff and the military wear and work wear, military jackets, the aviator jackets, this style came in the 70s, all that stuff that might sound like really boring or really like only the fashion students should learn this. Who cares? Just wear what you want, bro. Just who cares? That's a very one-dimensional way of looking at it. Like, if you actually take an interest in this, and I'm not saying do this if you don't find it interesting, literally just wear what you want, to be honest, but if you are somebody that actually would enjoy it a little bit, you can also add that layer that if you understand it and study it a little bit, your appreciation goes up and your skill in dressing well will also go up. Why do you think people in the fashion industry genuinely tend to dress better? Next is that it's not really about the clothes, and I've said it in every single bloody fashion video. A mannequin wearing the coolest clothes will never look good as a human wearing whatever clothes, but just doing his passion and just having the right body language and confidence. Understand that the self is always shining through, and if you're a stressed guy, if you have no passions, if you're just a dummy with, you know, dead fish eyes, with no passion in your life, and you got caved in posture, then no amount of good style is going to save you from that. Instead, if you develop your personality, your ability to speak, your ability to listen, your ability to move and confidently navigate space, your ability to engage and immerse in your passion, your ability to sit back and have open posture, all of these things are going to factor into how good you look in a given moment. Even things like your eye contact, and of course having a great body, a lean body, an aesthetic body is always that X factor that will make everything look good. That's just what happens when you lose body fat, get lean, get aesthetic. And if you, by the way, want my system to get that body that looks good in clothes, then get Aesthetic Body Blueprint. It's the first link in the description. I hope this video helped you. Let's start dressing better. Bye bye.